Welcome to BTR's Elite Partners podcast and blog series, where we invite our elite partners to share what they're doing in the world of technology and benefits. Hey, I'm Holly Brummett. I am host of the series and the business development coordinator for BTR. And with me is my awesome co-host, she's over there, Therese Thomasek. Hey, Therese.
Hi, Holly. Thanks so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Therese Thomasek, and I am the Consulting Operations and Vendor Manager for BTR. And we're just so incredibly excited to bring awareness to the market about our elite carrier and vendor partners.
Absolutely. Our partners are solid gold. And, it's very interesting throughout this entire series. We've been seeing how all of our partners fit in these little puzzle pieces to make the whole entire thing work for employers. Employers have such specific needs, and there is not a one-size-fits-all solution for any employer. So that's why our partners are vital and valuable. They really bring a lot to the table for our clients.
Yeah, you're definitely right, Holly. We created these partnerships to really help employers and employees in all types of industries across the United States. As we all know, HR technology and employee benefits can be complicated and sometimes overwhelming. And like Holly mentioned, there's not a one-size-fits-all solution. And here at BTR, we really aim to not only simplify that experience, but also improve upon it with creative and customized solutions for employers everywhere. We're really proud of this program. Again, I can't mention that enough. And today we are super excited to have Ceridian on the podcast.
Oh man, Ceridian, they're just a wealth of knowledge. We discussed their survey that they had, which we'll be linking into our YouTube video here. So we'll make sure that that's available to you. But Sharina and Mike just had nuggets after nugget to share as far as what they're doing with their HR technology to improve things for employers. So, and it was interesting learning how they function globally. So that was really awesome. So let's get into the conversation and let Mike and Sharina share about what they have going on at Ceridian.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our Elite Partners series. Today we have with us Sharina Roberts and Michael Fleck from Ceridian. Welcome, Sharina and Michael. We're so happy to have you join us. Would you please introduce yourselves and what you do?
Oh, thanks, Holly and Therese. Thanks for having us today. I'm Sharina Roberts. I am the Channel Sales Director with Ceridian. So what is that? I work within the influence channel within Ceridian's Global Partner Network, or as we will call it, or you might hear us call the CPN, the Ceridian Partner Network. So as the channel sales director, I get to work with and support partners like BTR in our entire external Ceridian partner ecosystem. So anyone who is an advisor, a broker, a consultant, or sits within the financial network, such as accounting firms and ERP solution providers, really anyone who has a strategic need to partner with Ceridian, we are happy to do that. So I've been with Ceridian now just under 2 years. But I've been within the HCM tech space for, I'm going to round and say 20 years. I think that sounds like a really good number. It doesn't date me too much. So for me, thinking about partnering with Ceridian and partnering with BTR and what I do in this role, I find myself really lucky because I think it's the best job at Ceridian. I get to work with our talented sales team and our sales leadership. And I get to work with our customers and our potential customers. And then I get to work with our partners like BTR. So I'm just grateful to be here today. We thank you very much. And Mike?
Sure. Thanks. Wow. A hard act to follow, Sharina.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure at all. Really appreciate the opportunity very much today. My name is Mike Fleck. I lead what we call our global influence channel. That is partner organizations like those that you work with at BTR and others who help their clients make decisions around the technologies that they're going to use in the HR part of their business. And Sharina, the team that we have is a global team. Sharina is one of two in the United States, and I know most of your partners or most of your brokers are here in the US, but she does have peers on the team in Canada and in the UK and EMEA and in Australia and in Singapore. So we'll talk a little bit about the global presence of Ceridian today. I have no problem aging myself. I come out of a benefits background, although I'm 5 years here at Ceridian in the HCM world. I started, I like to say, before Al Gore invented the internet back in the mid 90s, doing benefit enrollment and consolidated billing and things like that. And actually, Jamie Hawkins and I, for you probably don't know, worked together at Online Benefits for a short period of time way back in the day. So really delighted with the relationship that we enjoy with BTR, and looking forward to the conversation today.
Terrific. Thank you both for sharing. And clearly there's no shortage of knowledge between the both of you. So, BTR gets a lot of questions from our partners because we are, HR tech consulting firm first and foremost. And one of the questions we get asked a lot is, what do your partners specialize in? What are they known for? So would you please share a little bit more about, what Ceridian's claim to fame is and what you guys are mostly known for?
Sure, I'll take that one.
Sure.
So for me, it's important to share, or even really just kind of step back and say, like, who is Ceridian first? And that was one of the exercises, I had to do when I was looking to join the Ceridian team. So the Ceridian of new is much different than what most think of when thinking about Ceridian of the past. So thinking about, so Ceridian has definitely evolved in the HCM space. So thinking, 1992 Ceridian corporate to 2012, when the inception of Dayforce and Ceridian, our flagship software offering, which is Dayforce. And so what are we? We're a leading global HCM solution provider. Today, we support 6,000 plus customers across the globe, with companies ranging from 100 employees to hundreds of thousands of employees, and now even recently millions of employees. With some of our recent acquisitions, such as Ceridian and Ascender and APJ in Australia, we truly are one of the largest global payroll providers in the globe, offering, like I said, 160 plus countries through payroll and HCM offerings. So what do we do, right? So that's who we are. What do we do? So through Dayforce, our flagship solution, we offer end-to-end HCM functionality, from recruiting to offboarding, solutions you think of like HR and payroll and global payroll and workforce management and benefits and talent, and on and on. So those are just a few. But what's really unique about Dayforce is the one centralized real-time solution that we're able to provide through that application. And the question we get, right? So who is a good fit for Ceridian Dayforce? Really, we consider any organization that has a minimum of 100 employees, as I mentioned earlier, up to hundreds of thousands of employees and greater. Companies that have complex payroll, that have advanced timekeeping needs, who have global requirements we've mentioned a couple times. And then through that, we have dedicated sales teams and service teams who support, different verticals and different segments, such as public sector and sports and entertainment and manufacturing and private equity, and many more. So we're really not limited on the verticals or segments that we can support. I think what's unique about who Ceridian is, and this was very important to me when I joined the team, is really our engagement process, not just with our customers, but with our like BTR. We take a very unique stance in trying to understand the customer's needs, and not just the customer's needs, but does the customer truly fit within the Ceridian, ecosystem and network? So we want to make sure that we're asking all those right questions and being very respectful of the customer's time, but more importantly, to our BTR relationship and, the brokers that you support within that BTR network.
Wow. So it sounds like you touch a lot of different organizations, a lot of different types of employers. And it also sounds like you've got a really robust strategy for making things work for people. That's really cool that you guys have that built together. And Mike, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I was going to add something kind of fun, because Sharina kind of skipped over she mentioned the fact that we manage professional sports teams. We have about 50% of the NFL. We have a couple of Super Bowl champions that are clients. We have two Stanley Cup champions that are clients. I'm sorry. Rings, Mike? I don't have the, actually, the funny part of that story is the gentleman who runs that business, Trevor Rucky, is one of the only non-employees of the Kansas City Chiefs to get a Super Bowl ring, and he has it, not a ring replica, and it sits on his desk. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
He's got a very, very unique role.
Yep. You guys are part of the team.
Indeed. We're part of the team.
So we've heard a little bit about where you guys come from and what you do. Let's look a little bit more towards the future. Where are you guys going? What's on your roadmap? What kind of integrations are you part of?
Sure. Yeah. So, first of all, what I'd like to say from Ceridian's perspective, right? Our roadmap really, as we think about our approach in the human capital management space, is a global roadmap. And so when we built Dayforce back in the early 2010s, 2011 or so, we built it with a global platform in mind. And what's really interesting today is, even smaller or smallish organizations tend to have a global footprint. I come out of California, where many organizations who only might have a few hundred employees in the US are going to have a few thousand employees in the Asia Pacific region, right? That they have to address the needs. Or you see from your partners probably in the northern part of the US, where they have employees or employers who have employees both in Canada and the US, right?
Yep.
And the benefit that Ceridian provides there is that we have a single platform, Dayforce, that serves all of the employees globally and all of the employers, no matter what their size is. So there's no migration that's required when you go, for example, from a few hundred employees to a few thousand employees to tens of thousands of employees, if you aspire to that kind of growth, right? Ceridian and Dayforce grow with you. When we think about the roadmap for the future, then what we think about really are, I'm going to segment into three broad categories. So we think of people empowerment. How do we provide an intuitive experience for employees that makes work life better? So that's one, right? Which is the core of the HR function. Two, providing workforce intelligence. So using innovative data applications to help organizations make better workforce decisions across the globe. And then three, compliance, right? We're, as a global payroll organization, we are in the compliance business in the time world and in payroll and in the benefits world. And compliance has to be a foundational element of everything that we do.
For sure.
When we deliver the platform, right?
Right.
So in those categories, right, as I look to the future, right, I'm going to differentiate between near term, intermediate term. Near term is the next 6 months. There are dozens of things on our roadmap. I'm not going to share them all, but I'm going to highlight a couple for you that are important. So from an employee experience perspective, in that first category, we're adding HR knowledge management, right? Intuitive Q&A for employees to ask HR related questions, to come into the platform and manage that. Manage those answers easily. We're adding mobile capability, completely expanding our mobile capability to add timesheets, mobile benefits enrollment, which is in Q&A right now and will be out and launched in Q4 of this year. Probably a little too late for some of our clients to hit open enrollment, but it will be ready for next year and for ongoing enrollment in the beginning of the year. We've just launched Dayforce Wallet, which is our real-time on-demand pay platform, the world's only real-time on-demand pay platform in the UK. So now we have Dayforce Wallet in the US, Canada, and the UK all launched, which we're very excited about, and we've gotten just rave reviews on. From a workforce intelligence perspective, we're expanding our people analytics. We're expanding our data connections to big ERPs, Workday, obviously we have to connect to, even though we compete with them, and Oracle and others that are like that, SAP, Microsoft Dynamics, we do a fair bit with. We are adding peer benchmarking. So we're building into the platform from an analytics perspective, the ability for clients to begin to benchmark themselves against other similarly situated organizations using the data that we've captured in Dayforce. Mm-hmm. And I think most importantly, we're adding a single global record, what we call a global person, so that no matter where you go in the organization, you don't have to be moved between systems. If I move from the US to the UK, my record travels with me. It's a single record across the entire organization. And then finally,
that's really cool right there.
It's very cool. And what it allows us to do from a data perspective and and providing analytics and reporting and those capabilities to HR is really powerful, right? Because you now don't have to pull data from a bunch of different systems and try to figure out how to aggregate them. It's all there in Dayforce. The last on compliance, I mean, we're adding German payroll this year. So we've just opened up in Germany for native payroll. Singapore, we've launched. Most of the Asia Pacific region is going to be launched in early 2023. Mexico payroll probably in Q4. And so when you think about, from a global perspective, unlike some of our competitors who are either partnering with global payroll providers because they're a US centric organization, or using different platforms within their own ecosystem to try to serve different organizations. Again, we're dealing with Dayforce globally and natively within the platform. So I think those are the, kind of the exciting things that are coming up.
Those are all amazing things. When we look at the roadmap, it's not necessarily a linear process. You have to address a lot of the trends in the HR marketplace, right? So, one of the major trends, obviously, and especially since COVID, hybrid work is definitely driving business transformation. So how is Ceridian, supporting that kind of development of a hybrid work model? And how are you addressing those types of trends?
Serena, you want to grab that one?
Sure. I think what's unique in that question is, Teresa just mentioned, it ties back to what's on our roadmap, right? What are the trends? And I'll just even take a step back and kind of share a little bit about how we come to those, the roadmap through those trends. So we leverage resources internally through Ceridian, like our value advisory team, who are doing just that, looking at our current customer base, looking at external of that, like what's going on in the marketplace. And as you mentioned, when you think about trends, there's a few, right? The concept of being borderless, meaning, like you just mentioned, work-life today, work-life balance, it's not going away. If anything, it's going to become more prevalent in everything that we do. Right now, 30% of the workers worldwide are either working fully remote or hybrid. And those numbers are just going to continue to grow. And so I think of it as not just even being a trend anymore. It's really just a new way of work, which means we have to consider as a company, as Ceridian, and in our companies and organizations we work with and partners have to consider this, because it's going to affect recruiting, retention strategies. How are we looking at job requirements? Because employees are looking at that as a factor when it comes to where they're going to be at the next employer, or if they're going to stay at that employer long term. In some of the areas that Mike also mentioned is, reporting capability and trends within that organization. So today, a lot of C-level executives have the need to not only make critical decisions about their organization through current data, but also future data. So that future modeling and reporting is very important. Being agile in the workplace is, again, an organization's top look at. 69% of organizations are looking to improve their current access to data and analytics. So, we've been faced with the fact that we need to now not only understand the importance of having the data today, the data immediately to look back data, but also the future data. A couple of other things, we're seeing in the marketplace, and I think this one's really often overlooked, is skills. And skills when it comes to an employee. We've done a lot of research and a lot of surveying, and 90% of employees within the professional environment are looking for additional advancement in skills and training, both professionally and personally. So I know we as Ceridian, we're feeling the effects of that and trying to change that landscape. And so we're no exception, but HR executives are definitely looking to expanding employee training and certification offerings. And then what is that delivery method and what that means to that organization top down. So HCM technology is not going anywhere. If anything, we all have to be on top of it. But more importantly, understanding what our current solutions offer, and then what are we doing to partner and offer best in breed solutions to integrate when necessary. So there's just a little bit of the trends we're seeing.
Right. Well, keep me honest, Serena. I'm pretty sure that Ceridian recently had a huge survey So were those results from the survey? Can you share a little bit more about, other results that you found that were interesting?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So our concept of being always on or always on people platform, or referring to Dayforce and Ceridian, is exactly just that. So Mike mentioned Dayforce Wallet. He mentioned on-demand pay, and the stats prove it. So 72% of US employees want access to wages before payday. 57% of those say that they would stay longer with an organization who offers on-demand benefits as a on-demand pay as a benefit in their organization. So the idea of demand pay or on-demand pay is no longer really an idea. It's really just a reality. And so with products like Dayforce Wallet, the Ceridian on-demand pay solution, we're giving organizations exactly what I mentioned: the ability to grant employees access to wages, to be agile within their own organization, and to offer those advancements, whether if it's training or just access to additional benefits. So it really is an exciting time in HR technology, and more importantly than ever, I'm just happy that we're just one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, that survey was really eye-opening, and that's a public survey, right?
It is. Yeah, we can push it out.
Where can our listeners find that survey?
It is linked in the communication center of the Ceridian website.
Okay. I was reading through that just a few weeks ago, because there's so many nuggets in it. There's so many.
And
this is our second one.
Yeah, we'll be doing a few of those a year, right? And on different topics and depending on the global needs. So those are being driven out of, our value advisory team. So
that's terrific.
Yeah, that's a valuable thing that you're putting forth there. That's cool.
Thank you.
What
Thanks
else
for
is
highlighting
exciting?
that.
Oh yeah, of course. What else is exciting for Ceridian?
Well, I think for our partners, I'll talk about a couple of exciting things, right? For Ceridian, what's really exciting is, look, the market is responding to what we're offering, right? A global pay system, single global employee record. We are growing our business at a record pace. We continue to add clients at a pace that is faster than we ever have in our history. That is super exciting. And as we get into new markets and we step into new geographies, that's really exciting for us and for our clients. I think from a partner perspective, we're doing some really great things for our partner ecosystem, the network that we enjoy. Ceridian's relatively new to the partnering game. It's only been a few years that we've begun to build out our partner network and ecosystem. And for those folks that you work with in the broker world who knew Ceridian of old, right, the Cobra Serve days and others, that organization hasn't existed for quite a long time. So what we're pretty excited about, and I think Sharina alluded to earlier, is we're taking a different approach, right? We really want our partners to have an intimate relationship with Ceridian, as much information as we can share. We're redoing our partner ecosystem this fall. We'll be launching it in Insights. That'll create a more seamless experience for partners as they grow in their relationship with Ceridian. So if they want to move into roles that include, for example, client-side technical consulting or client-side support, we're going to create avenues, because we've certainly seen partners who have an interest in doing those things. We are launching what we call the Influence Academy, which is training and information on Ceridian Dayforce that is current, that any of the partners that we have in the ecosystem can access through our private portal. Super excited about that. That was just launched. Also within the portal, and I would encourage your partners to consider signing up for the portal, because we also do marketing. In fact, we're doing social marketing and how to sell yourself to clients using technology as a background and other elements that are helpful for partners to grow their business. So
that's neat. Lots of really exciting things over there. You guys are just
you guys are busy.
grilling.
Like I said, it's
Labor Day's over. You guys won't have to cook and grill so much anymore. Come on, settle down. No, really excited for everything that you have going on over there.
Yeah, we are too. Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to share during our time together today?
I would just mention, Mike mentioned insights, make sure, whether if it's, partners pushing out to potential customers of Dayforce or prospects. Insights is the week of November 7th in Vegas at the Wynn. They can get all the information on our website. It's a great opportunity for customers and prospective customers to come together and learn about Ceridian and Dayforce. So it's our largest customer event of the year.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing about that, Sharina. Mike, Sharina from Ceridian, thank you so much for your time today on our podcast. This has been awesome. And we're really excited for the things that Ceridian's doing. Now to the listener of this podcast, if you are an employer looking for an HR technology solution, whether it's payroll, then admin, time and attendance, HRIS, HCM, or even year-round one-on-one enrollment support, we have solutions that will fit your culture and your budget. Our elite partners, they're out there in the market doing amazing things, and we're totally here for it. So if you'd like more information about the services you've heard here today from Ceridian, please get in touch with us at btrprojects@bentechre.com. You can connect with our experts there, and we'll make sure we get you connected with Ceridian. Thank you so much for viewing today's podcast, and thank you, Sharina and Mike, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
We appreciate the partnership.